What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Grant Rowland here with the DMG Gaming Podcast. And as always, I am joined by the guy who will be camping outside GameStop for his copy of Dragon Age. My boy, Ed Phillips. What up, my boy?
What's up, man?
What up,
I'm
dude?
looking forward to the Dragon Age
I
game.
know you got your tent set up and everything, and you're ready to camp out there with you and the other two people who will be playing the game.
That's right. Can't wait.
I wonder what y'all going to talk about. What kind of conversations you think y'all be talking about?
I don't know, but we will get to that. We got some news on that, especially Dragon Age, the Veilguard.
Mm-hmm. He's got
the
his purple.
Veilguard. Or what I like to call is Fortnite, the Veilguard, because that's what the fucking graphics look like.
It's you have your purple wig ready? You got it ready for
I got
to blend in?
So I can swing my head back and forth and watch the hair physics go off.
And then look at everybody and be like, look at that guy. He's a fascist. You know it.
Yep. Okay. Let's get into it. Saber Interactive CEO.
Oh, the CEO.
I don't even know if they've actually confirmed if that's the CEO, but everything we're getting at, that's the actual CEO that responded to Asmongold's video on Space Marine 2. I'm pretty sure that it is the CEO because everything's mixing up everything I've seen that it is him. But all right, so anyway, let's get to this. So Saber's Interactive CEO replies to Asmongold's video on Space Marine 2. Basically what he said was, well, how about this? Let's bring up a graphic of this.
All right, let me see this.
Yep. All right, let's bring up the picture.
I wonder what the CEO looks like. I wonder if I can guess. If I close my eyes like Johnny Carson and put the envelope to my head.
What's that? Here we go.
Okay, that's not what I expected. I expected it to be somebody with pink hair.
What?
I expected the CEO to be somebody with pink hair. That's what I expected.
No.
Okay.
All right. So Saber Interactive does the Space Marine 2. I mean, like, they've done a lot of games, but, like, they did Space Marine 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so anyway, so the CEO responded to Asmongold pretty much at the end of it. I'm not going to read the entire thing. But he hopes that games like Space Marine 2 and Black Myth Wukong are the start of a reversion to a time when games were simply about fun and immersion.
Gotcha.
All right. And he basically says this is what games should be about. And instead of like invoking or imposing morals on gamers or like, you know, let's just say a certain side of it, you know, their ideology on gamers, what they call morals or their morals, you know, they put in a lot of games or they've been trying to, especially recently. So this is kind of like what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So he responded Asmongold with this. Also, let's talk this. All right, so Asmongold kind of broke down like on his video about like it's kind of like, you know, what we talked about last podcast, but basically it's like when it comes to the a game like Space Marine 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
He basically kind of talked in like, you know, stuff that, you know, kind of stuff that we miss nowadays or trying to remember about games we used to have. And a lot of that revolved around, you know, games with high testosterone, which is Space Marines 2, games with more masculinity and stuff like that, and simpler games. How Gears of War was, at least 1, 2, and 3 were. And games we used to have like that. They were just simpler and didn't have a lot of real world invoked bullshit loaded into these games. And they just had, you know, a simple concept to them. So anyway, let's go into this. So you have two huge games right now, Space Marines 2 and Wukong. All right, both sitting at 100 plus concurrent players. Both of them are on a daily basis. And I think the question is, why are these games so popular? Because, I mean, these games are just, they have such a simple concept. And yes, they have a lot of masculinity in it. In both of them. It's very masculine games. Why are the games so popular? What is your take on it? Like, why are these games so popular nowadays?
Because they're not rooted in ideology. They're just games. I mean, simple. I mean, that's. I mean, I really don't know what else to say. I mean, can't really go deeper than that. I mean, because, you know, I mean, that's it.
Yeah. So,
That, I mean, because here's the thing. I mean,
Space Marines 2, let's take Space Marine 2, for example.
Mm-hmm.
It puts you in a fantasy universe
Mm-hmm.
that all the lore and everything is revolved around just this fantasy universe.
Mm-hmm.
They don't take, let's say, politics or ideologies from our real world and try to inject them in the game, in the story, or put it somewhere that some game developer, while they're making the game, puts their own little twist on it. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? To try to invoke like their point of view of the world. And that's where Space Marine 2 is so successful. It gives you 40K. Like that game is all 40K, no added bullshit. It
Yeah.
is all about the 40K universe.
Correct.
And they delivered like big time in Space Marine 2. You feel like you're in that universe and you escape, which is, one of the main reasons why some people love video games, to escape to a world, a fantasy world, and immerse themselves in something that they don't have to worry about all the bullshit they see on the news, all the other crap that's going on in the world,
Mm-hmm.
to relax and have a stress-free time. And that's pretty much what, these games are giving you. Wukong's the same way. Wukong gives you a fantasy world based off of Journey to the West, but it gives you a fantasy world without any added crap to it. It's just a good time, and you
Correct.
get to experience. And again, both these games have great gameplay. I mean, that's another reason why they're successful. Great stories. Main campaign for Space Marine 2. The the Wukong. This when you're playing through Wukong, everything, all the fantastic creatures and stuff you see, all the fantasy elements of it. They really deliver on both of these games when it comes to the fantasy element,
Mm-hmm.
without anything added. It's just a simple concept and simple gameplay. Wukong is simple gameplay when you think about it. Like, at least my opinion of playing Wukong and beating it, it was simple gameplay. Space Marine 2 is also simple, but it gives you just, the cinematics, it gives you that epic feeling of what's going on in each of those games' universes. And they deliver big time.
Yeah.
All right. Let's close this. Okay. So let's get back to this.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we kind of already explained what makes Space Marine 2 and Wukong like popular. I mean, they are very popular games. I mean, as you can see on Steam charts and everything, even on console, you got to have a lot of people playing on console. But they just deliver a simple concept. One thing is also, if you take a look at another thing Asmongold said, he stated in also another recent video, he basically trashes BioWare's upcoming Dragon Age of Veilguard. He basically says it looks like a mobile game, that is actually worse than Concord.
Oh,
That's what
pretty
he
bad.
said. Well, I mean, he's kind of right.
I mean, there's numbers to back it up. What was the pre-order numbers for that game?
It was around 45,000, 50,000, something like that, in that
You
ballpark.
mean to tell me a game that had like such great history, where all of them were great before, it's only got 45,000 pre-orders?
Yeah, it's, my thing is this, like, they went to that art style that looks, that mobile game looking art style, like I want to say Genshin Impact, but a lot of, it's very Fortnite-ish graphics, you know what I mean? And, they released a big thing on, look at the hair physics. And it showed is this what they concentrated on through the game, with having good hair physics?
Yeah.
It kind of worries me. And then when you see the...
you got good hair physics.
I have fantastic hair physics. I have no hair. That is my hair physics. But like, you see the trailers and you see like the world looks cool. Like, you see the background of some of the trailers you've seen for Dragon Age of Veilguard. Background looks cool. The fantasy elements there. But what I'm looking at is the combat, like, and the gameplay. Like, fine, you have great hair physics. You have cool looking backdrops, fantasy world. That's great. But how's the gameplay going to be on it, dude? Like, is it going to feel like that classic Dragon Age gameplay? I don't know. But I agree with Asmongold here. I mean, it's obvious. But people attack him all the time. You're like, oh, why listen to this guy? Why does 1 million plus people listen to him on a daily basis? Probably because he has pretty good takes on things.
Yeah,
I would say, and why he has millions of subscribers.
Well, I mean, I've already told you.
He probably has something there that is attracting people, and he's probably right on a lot of things because they're common sense takes on things that a lot of gamers do have issues with nowadays. But they always tack how he lives and how he does things.
Oh, how does he live?
Well, he lives. Well, obviously he has money, but he chooses to live in his. He streams from his room, and they always make fun of how dirty his room is. But that's like the only thing they can come at him at. They don't come at him with legit rebuttals, like intelligent rebuttals to what he says. They just kind of attack him personally most of the time. Every tweet I've seen on him. What's that?
I said they come at you stuff. I got to clean the I need to get somebody in here. They start coming at me,
there, buddy. No, but they just attack him personally. Oh, like, why should I listen to this guy? Well, I mean, like, he's not wrong on some things. You know what I mean?
You don't get it. You don't get that many subscribers for being wrong.
You really don't. But he got popular in his early days through World of Warcraft and everything. Like that. I followed him for quite a bit, I followed him for I've known and seen most of his videos for the past 8 years.
Was he like an elite Warcraft player? Was he one of those?
Yeah, he was. I mean, he still is a good Warcraft player whenever he plays. But he jabs at Blizzard a lot of times when it comes to their decisions, which are rightfully legit jabs to them because they do make some dumb decisions. But yeah, if you don't disagree with if you disagree with Asmongold, don't attack him personally. Give a rebuttal. Give an intelligent rebuttal to his. Don't just oh, you got a dirty room, stupid shit like that.
Yeah, you can change that. You can get a maid in there and clean that.
But anyway, so but yeah, these it encompasses this. Gamers want to be engulfed in a fantasy world, well, without having all these stupid ideological ideas injected to them from the real world and forced upon them in their gameplay.
That's what we talked about before.
They want to play a game that, again, immerses themselves in this world. They have to watch the news. They look at social media with all the stupid politics shit going on, with all the ideologies that are just thrown out there that, oh, we're right and you're wrong. No, they just want to be in a fantasy world, play a game that has good gameplay, has a good story, that's fun to play, and that's it.
Yeah.
All these fucking woke game design. I hate saying that word, but it's
true. It's true.
You have all these woke game designers, these young game designers that don't know about the real world or anything like that. They really are very, we went to college and everything like that for all this stuff. It doesn't make you wise and it doesn't make you smart because you went to college.
I mean, again, we've talked about this. What's the point of having it if it doesn't advance the story? You see what I'm saying? Like for example, I can go ahead and tell you another epic failure, and I'm just going to go ahead and warn everybody now. We're going to go ahead and say it. I don't even know what show they were talking about, but you saw the Marvel whatever, and they said it's about to be the gayest Marvel show that they've made or whatever.
Was it the Agatha one?
Is that what that is? I don't know. So here's the thing. Here's the thing is, this is why it's going to fail, is because none of that event is advances is part of the story.
Because they said that is what's worrisome. Yeah. Why is it a big deal you have to have a show be the gayest of something of all time?
Here's the thing.
Why do you have to have that?
Here's the thing. I don't know anything about, I don't know if Agatha's a real, I don't know much about her, but let's just say, for example, okay, you want to make her gay. Cool. You can make that part of the story without making it the reason why it's the show. You know what I mean? That's your whole being of the show. You know what I mean? What, you want her to, okay, cool. She wants to be a lesbian and she has a girlfriend. No big deal. Now let's get on with the story of why she is whatever she is. I don't even know what she is. I've never even seen it.
Well, it's a show that no one asked for. Yeah. Honestly, let's be real. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to be that successful. Not many people are going to watch this show.
Well, is it so what is it? She's a witch?
I do not know, Grant, because it is something that no one cares about really in the Marvel universe. I'm going to tell you right now. 90% plus, I'm lowballing here, don't give a flying F about Agatha. Honestly, this is a show that no one really wanted. Like,
look at you being family friendly.
Yeah, man. Now, I don't know. YouTube is coming down hard with that hammer.
I know. Fuck them.
Yeah. All right. So, anyway, we gave our spill on this. Hats off if that is actually Saber Interactive CEO. Hats off to him to pushing back on this crap, because he is absolutely right, and this is the direction that game designers really need to go to.
And here's the thing. Okay, so again, like, you can still make video games, people. Just make video games. This is what you can still believe whatever you want to believe.
You don't care about your damn politics.
Correct.
You don't care about how
we don't
you
care
live
about
your
your
daily life.
We don't care about that.
Inject that crap.
Just make the game. Just make a
fun game with a great fantasy element to
That's it.
Whatever you're doing.
That's it. And here's the thing. And what we mean by that is, if let's just say, hey, we want some LGBTQ representative. Cool. Make a character. Don't make it the whole fucking identity of the game. That's what we're talking about.
And don't make the ideology, your personal stuff, the identity of the game.
The identity of the game.
That's foreign developers.
Yeah. And here's the thing is, and let's just say, hey, I want to, as the developers, they're saying, hey, we want to make a lesbian gay game. Okay, that's fine. You're free to do that. And then you're going to get your audience, And let me tell you something. For example, I was thinking about this earlier. We're talking about this. Do you remember that show? I mean, it was probably on Netflix. It was like Queer Eye for the Straight Guy or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? You know how that show was successful? Because it said what it was. It had an audience. It had its audience for it. And nobody said anything about it.
The show is actually funny.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is it basically told you, hey, this show is for gay people, because it's about gay people.
Yeah.
And this is what it's going to do. And if you want to watch it. And if you don't have to. Yeah, and it was successful. And you didn't hear nothing about it. You didn't hear no pushback from it, because it stated what it was, and it stated, and it stayed in its lane, and it was successful. And that's all you have to do.
It didn't take themselves seriously. You know what
Correct.
I mean? Like writing. It didn't take themselves seriously in the writing.
Yeah. And that's the thing.
A lot of successful comedies always do that. But anyway, yeah. So,
we're going to say this again. Nobody cares about gay characters or lesbian characters or even trans characters. It's when you make it the idea. It's when you make it the whole identity of the game that they don't want. Nobody wants that. That's what we keep saying. So before you get on here and hit me with the trifecta that I'm a racist, bigot. Wait, was it? No, not biggest. Well, I am the biggest, but racist. I forgot the word. What is it? Come on, help me out here.
No, I really don't want to help you out, because I think it's funny watching you think about it.
I can't, dude. I went blank.
Racist, bigots,
misogynist. No, what I said biggest, not bigots. That's what I said. That's what threw me off. Oh. So before you hit me with the trifecta, understand what we're talking about.
Well, it doesn't matter what you talk about.
I know it doesn't matter.
You've already been labeled all three of those.
I know. I'm white from Mississippi.
Well, you're a white guy from Mississippi. I'm a white guy from Mississippi living in Florida.
Yeah, you know what that means. You know what that means. Trump supporters.
Yeah. I mean, might as well just wear MAGA hats on here.
That's a Trump guys.
You got a MAGA hat, don't you?
Yeah.
All right. But yeah. All right. So that's our take on, again, if you have a clear rebuttal to all these things, then just say the rebuttal to them. Don't start attacking them personally.
Say the rebuttal to us as well.
Really get their feelings hurt when someone has a different opinion from them. Boy, got some softies in this world.
For real. If you want to, and you're free to do that to us. You have anything you want to say? Just talk. Whoa, we're not gonna make fun of you.
No, we already get all that stuff on Twitter anyway.
For real. You want to say, if you want to say, hey Grant, your head looks like a deflated football. Okay, I can. Okay, we're not going to argue with you, but
Okay, Grant. All right. So enough of that.
All right.
That was a good run. Okay. Next news. Guess who we're about to talk about, Grant?
Our sponsors of the show. It should be.
We don't have any sponsors.
But it should be a sponsor.
Ubisoft ought to be a sponsor for us.
That's what I'm saying, because we talk about them more than anything.
Yeah. Okay, so guess who we're talking about? We're talking about Ubisoft
Mm-hmm.
again. Okay, so Ubisoft runs to your New York Times to attack players in defense of Assassin's Creed Shadow.
You notice I didn't run to the New York Post.
No, they did not. They ran to their friends at the New York Times to
Correct.
defend them.
Correct.
And their basically interpretation of history in Japan
They
without
probably just,
any real Japanese historians for their game.
this is what
They
happened.
got a white guy
I know.
to be their historian.
I know. Here's the thing is, so this is what I imagine the guy did. He walked into the New York Times and said, "Racism," and everybody flocked toward him, like, "What's the story?
Oh,
What's
boy.
the-" It was like throwing food at a flock of seagulls and watching them all fight over it.
Exactly. Okay. All right. So let's so anyway, all right, so this is a common thing that companies do, right?
Mhm.
You know, these companies get a backlash for something they might have put out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's totally normal. All companies do this.
They do this, and they immediately, once the fans or fans of an IP, they start hitting back at them like, "Hey, what is wrong with y'all?"
Mm-hmm.
Guess who they go to?
I
They
know.
go to major publications, and the major publications do the gatekeeping hard
Oh,
time,
yeah.
boy.
Oh,
They
yeah.
are in 24/7 mode protecting you.
Matter of
They
fact,
will
nobody
protect
does
themselves.
this, but people who can't handle the truth.
It's the fans that are wrong. The fans are wrong about everything.
What happened? But here's the
People that
thing:
have immersed themselves into these IPs are wrong.
eventually, they're going to lose all their fans. Then who they're going to blame?
I don't know. All right. So anyway, Ubisoft went to the New York Times. Basically, what they wrote was, or they kind of responded to fans was, some gamers erupted over his appearance. They're talking about Yasuke. Convinced that the franchise. All right. First off, they didn't. Let's get this clear. The majority of the pushback on Yasuke being the main character is not because of his appearance. It's because he's an African American samurai during a feudal age when you had so many different choices to go with. For a game based in feudal Japan,
Correct.
It's a discussion.
Yep.
It's not about his skin color.
No.
Stop it.
Yep.
It's not about
the
his skin
It's the
color.
choice that you made when you didn't make the choice that should have been made.
Okay. So anyway, to continue. So some gamers erupted over his appearance, convinced that the franchise, known for its immersive recreations of the past, had gone woke. This is what they're saying to the New York Times. By including a black character in its depiction of 16th century Japan. Okay, yes, exactly. You just hit it right there with the 16th century Japan.
What country was that again?
Japan.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So let me ask you a question. Has anybody seen Shogun and how they treated their foreigners that showed up to their country?
I would hope so. And if you haven't seen Shogun, you definitely need to watch that because that is a well done series, dude.
Correct.
Obviously. What did it get, like
18 Emmys
18? Golly.
for one season.
Oh, it's a great show, though.
Fantastic. And guess what it doesn't have in it?
What's that?
Doesn't have any inclusion, any in this other stuff. It is a Japanese show about Japanese samurais.
What'd you say?
Oh, white guy from Mississippi, Trump.
You saying there's Japanese people in Japan?
Wait, would you say you Trump supporter? You know what's funny is that we no longer talk about the Bloods and the Crips anymore. It's all about the Democrats and Republicans. That's the new gangs.
That is the new gangs, and it's getting bloody out there.
I'm telling you, man.
All right. Okay. So then he goes on to claim that developers received personal attacks and death threats during an online harassment campaign.
Oh.
Okay. Well, first off, a lot of people don't know who their individual developers are for the fucking game. All right, so if they received death threats, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry you got talked too bad to on LinkedIn.
You received harassment on
at LinkedIn because that's the only way people would know that they developed the game because they have it in all their shit.
All right, so I'm gonna call bullshit on most of this. I'm pretty sure there was maybe some, but let's not talk about like it's mass scale harassment and death threats to people. They don't know. I don't know who developed this game personally.
I'm sorry that a bank teller on LinkedIn told you that you suck.
Yeah, someone on Twitter, you suck, and then they're like, "Oh my god, harassment,
racist."
Yes. Okay. All right. So anyway, Ubisoft. All right, first off, your main source of history that you were touting for so long was Thomas Lockley, was this white guy who then came back. We found out a couple months ago that most of the stuff wasn't actually factual. And he personally said that. And then he
just
just
made it up.
disappeared.
He just
And
asked
now,
ChatGPT and then walked away.
Let's keep the track record going. We're going to keep receipts here. Thomas Lockley, that their historian that they touted so much. Also, now this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. This guy said that he did not collaborate with Ubisoft at all on this game. This guy literally appeared on their history podcast. Ubisoft has this like history podcast for the Assassin's Creed. He was on there talking about history.
Can you know? And you know he got paid for that. He
was working with Ubisoft on this.
You know he got paid for that.
Well, whatever. But I mean, like, this is their guy. And then after him, he failed. They ran and got this like radical communist from Japan to be their history guy.
He's like, he was like anti-Japan.
This is hilarious.
He was like the most anti-Japanese guy.
I mean, like, you can't make this up. I mean, they're trying to find historians to justify using Yasuke as a major political figure, as a legendary samurai with 15 months of training. He's their go-to. That's out of all the samurais you could have picked from, or just created a totally different character in that time period, a Japanese character. I mean, why not? Why can't you do simple things like this?
I'm going to say this again. 15 months of training against people who've done this their whole entire lives, you're not beating anybody at all. You're dead. If you killed anybody, they were either had no legs or arms, or they were asleep, or they were already dead, and you just happened to stab them while they were already dead.
Exactly. All right. So anyway, Ubisoft.
Now, hold on. Let me just back this up real quick. Now, could he have been bigger? Sure. Could he have been stronger? Possibly. But when you have a skill that's been trained for so long, that doesn't matter. You're still getting judoed around, I promise you.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you put someone my size, 6'5", give me a samurai sword, make me time travel back to feudal Japan, and make me fight a samurai master or whatever.
Yeah, you're getting killed.
I'm dead. If
you took you and put you against some 5'6" Muay Thai master, you're still getting beat. Bad.
My head's cracked open. Yeah, so I mean, like, but they always, and Ubisoft also stated, well, we try to provoke realism and try to pull real history and stuff. Well, you're not.
Yeah,
really
we didn't promote that. Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's like you didn't promote real history because there was literally a stack of historic samurais.
Listen, when your game gets into Japanese litigation, the government, the Diet is what their legislative branch is called. When the Diet is thinking about making litigation towards you, it's bad. And then when you have a Japanese reenactment that you stole their flag from, their banner, their symbol from, suing you basically, which I'm not sure where they're at on that process, but when all these things are happening to your game, you're not doing it right at all.
Well, wait till Ubisoft makes Assassin's Creed with William Wallace as a Japanese woman.
Yep.
And then they're going to be like, well, actually, we have a Scottish historian here that says, don't watch Braveheart. That wasn't the real story. We actually have historians from Scotland that say that
he actually wasn't a Scottish man,
and he wasn't even it was a Japanese woman.
I mean, that we were laughing about this, but that's something that they would find some crazy nutcase.
Oh yeah,
that has a historian or a history degree and do that.
Yep. We actually dug up the tomb of William Wallace.
Their version of history.
Yeah, we actually dug up the tomb of William Wallace, and we did all this stuff on the skeletons and found out that he had no penis. Fuck, man.
Dude, the length they will go to revise history is insane.
They would.
Oh, yeah. And actually, Ubisoft, you remember the Wikipedia page?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's locked.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, you can't touch that thing nowadays. They have truly changed history. All right. Grant, got anything else on Ubisoft? I'm sure we'll have something
I'm
tomorrow
sure
or
Friday we'll have another one.
All right. Now, something I'm excited to talk about.
All right.
Really excited to talk about Castlevania.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, as everyone's aware, if you haven't seen it, go to Netflix's social media page and they posted the trailer for Castlevania Nocturne Season 2. And man, when
I love
Alucard
Castlevania, man.
and Richter, I mean, we're going to get into this, but when they had Alucard and Richter at the end of that trailer, yeah, dude, they look pimp, dude. Like,
I'm going to tell you, that's the only thing, and I'm glad that they brought Alucard in because it saved the show because it was kind of meh for a while. It was
it was very slow, and the bad guys really were stupid. Like
the chick was cool though.
They didn't really make Richter. I mean, it's kind of like his growth, I guess, with what they're getting into. But like towards the end is the only when you can see Richter starting like legit. You see his powers.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the Castlevania timeline, when it comes to all the Belmonts, Richter is the one, if not the strongest Belmont out of the entire timeline.
Mm-hmm.
At least most powerful. So hopefully they get into that a little bit more. But you saw Alucard. He has that classic look to him. And Richter.
Well, I'm hoping they tie it all together, like how he got there. Like, did he time travel? Like, what is going on? Like, well, obviously he had to, but why? How?
I hope they do too. But I hope they do focus a lot on them this season. Like,
please.
Listen, I get you want to go into these side characters that a lot of people really don't care about, man. Like, I would say fans. I get people that don't know anything about Castlevania, watch the show. I get you might like these characters, but as fans, I want to see Alucard and Richter killing things.
You know what's funny?
I want to see their stories more than I want to see all these side characters that really aren't part of don't have major, I guess, factors in the lore when it comes to Castlevania.
You know what's going to be funny is there's going to be one episode of Alucard and that's it. And then he's going back.
Then they need to quit. They need to season 2 done.
Yeah, that's what they'll do.
But I hope this actually eventually leads to, are they going? You think they're going to go into Symphony of the Night eventually?
They could. I mean, if that's the way it's going, I mean, it has to, right?
Yeah.
He had the gear on.
Like,
he had the gear on.
This series of Nocturne, they go into Alucard trying to rescue Richter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he had the Symphony of the Night gear on.
Yeah, he did. Mm-hmm. And I think it's just a winning formula if you have Alucard.
Yeah.
And you have a Belmont.
Oh God! Don't talk about Alucard. That way I get another discussion on Twitter.
But I mean, listen, you can say like the bad guys are okay, but like you got to bring back Dracula, dude. I know people are like, well, we just had Dracula last season, all right, but you can rephase Dracula.
Well, they brought him back every single time, so I mean, I'm sure they can figure it out.
I mean, like Dracula is you don't even have to go to make him look. You can make him look different, whatever you want. But you got to have Dracula in this game.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is they can just get what was Simon's quest? What is it like? They had to gather all his body parts or whatever. Yep. Yeah. So I mean, they could do something like that or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh God! Don't talk about Dracula and Alucard. We'll get into another discussion where everybody's well, actually, he's not the son of Dracula. It's actually this guy.
Oh yeah, those guys were. They didn't realize you were talking about Castlevania though.
I know.
They thought you were talking about some 1940s film.
I know. And what's funny is I couldn't even get the 1980s game across. Why would I talk about the 40s? Why would I talk about something even older?
Yeah, Grant. All right. So what do you want to see in season 2?
I want to see the story. Yes, I want to see the story progress between Richter and Alucard that pushes it towards Symphony of the Night. That's going to get him where he goes off to fight. Because here's the thing. So you have to bring Dracula back for Richter to go to the castle for him to get kidnapped or whatever, And I want to see him going. That's what I want to see. I want to see Alucard going to save him into the cap. I wonder if it's going to be like the whole game where he like loses all his powers and shit, and he has to.
So I want to see like an epic showdown of Richter versus Dracula.
Yeah.
And then they go into Symphony Night where Alucard is going after Richter, maybe, the later series. But like I want to see that epic showdown when you saw Trevor and Death fight. Remember at the end of the regular Castlevania series?
Yeah.
That was such a awesome showdown. So hopefully they go into that and have like a badass showdown.
They should.
Richter.
They should bring back Dracula, but not make him as human. Like bring him just like an evil.
Bring back a legit.
Yeah, like a evil asshole.
Yeah, psycho Dracula. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I think, because they could play into the whole he doesn't remember any of his ex-wife or any of that stuff that got killed. So he's just
All right. Let's see.
I mean, these are all good. Here's the thing is these are all good ideas. None of it's probably going to happen. So
yeah, I know. But because when they did that trailer, they showed Richter and Alucard. They're like, oh yeah, it's going to be about Richter and Alucard mainly.
That's going to be like the first episode, and he's going back.
He's trap you sometimes.
He's going to be like, here's what I brought you from the future. All right, now I'm going.
Yeah, just disappears after episode 1. All right. But I am curious. I also want to see like them maybe mix a little comedy between how Alucard was with Trevor.
Yeah,
maybe give that, and same thing with Richter.
Yeah, it was good.
A little comedy in there to it, but I hope it revolves heavily around Richter and Alucard.
Yeah,
that's what my final thoughts on that. Okay, Grant, let's move on.
Let's do it.
Okay, all right. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. This is actually turning out. I'm probably gonna get this, dude. All right, so it's going to feature over 180 characters.
It's a lot.
That's crazy. And the producer of the game is pretty much said they're all going to be very unique. So we'll see how they deliver on that. But I'm down with the new. They do new Dragon Balls all the time, Dragon Ball games all the time. But hopefully they bring it with this one.
Who are you playing with? I'll tell you mine after that.
Who am I going to play with? Let's see. Vegeta's usually always a go-to. I wonder if they're going to have different renditions of Vegeta, like
probably
Majin Vegeta, or is that all going to be part of?
So you're thinking original? Too popular. I like to be contrarian. I'm going with Chiaotzu, Chiaotzu, and Saberman. That's what I'm playing with.
You go Saberman.
That's it.
Okay.
I'm beating the whole
explode.
game.
They do explode.
That's right. I'm beating the fuck out of Super Saiyan 4 Goku with a Saberman. No, yes. Oh,
no,
yeah.
You're not.
Oh yeah.
No, you're
Me
not.
and Chiaotzu teaming up. I got to bring them back. I got to make them stop being worthless.
Yamcha to that.
That's right. That's my trio.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, Vegeta. I always going to play with Goku, but yeah, Vegeta's my main.
I'm going to play with Broly. Broly's tight.
I'm gonna have they're gonna have like Jin on all those people in it too. I'm sure they will. Yeah. Yeah.
They're probably gonna add like they'll probably add them like Janemba and all the movies
from
the movies and stuff.
Super and all those others characters from Dragon
Lord
Ball
Slug.
Yeah. One thing I have Bardock.
Probably.
Or
honestly.
King Vegeta too.
They'll probably have Turles from the world's strongest Tree of Might.
Yep. Yeah, they might. Okay. All right, Grant. Next piece. All right. Helldivers 2. They just released an update, finally. And this update has brought a lot of players back so far. I think it's up to around 50,000 concurrent on Steam and maybe hopefully climbing. Basically, what they did with this update, they reworked the weapons, added a new Galactic War feature, and other changes that kind of makes the game easier and make more sense. Like when it comes to like an anti-tank weapon, you're shooting a Titan or whatever like that, one of the big bugs.
You mean it actually works?
It actually, you don't have to shoot it 7 times in the face
I know.
with an anti-tank weapon.
Yeah, that was terrible.
You know what I mean? To kill it. You actually only have to shoot it once or twice, and makes it a little bit more realistic when a fucking big-ass missile hits a bug in the face. It might kill it.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the same thing. I remember I had to, this bug's going to run up on me with a shotgun, and I'm sitting there, hitting it 7 times. I didn't have to reload on one bug. Yeah, no, that was terrible.
So they made it a little bit easier, and I think this is going to making stuff more powerful, and you feel powerful as you progress and get weapons that are hard to get.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the whole point. I mean, that shit takes a long time to get.
And you're supposed to be able to make the game easier because you're getting more powerful and you're putting more time into the game. The problem before was they were getting rid of all these weapons or nerfing stuff, and you didn't feel like you were progressing by putting a lot of time into the game.
Well, not only that, it's like you'd spend a lot of those points on higher guns, and the guns were shittier compared to like a pistol. You know what I mean,
Yeah.
or a shotgun or some shit.
But yeah, it was a long list of weapons, like
Yeah.
buffing a long list of stuff. But hopefully that brings the game back, revitalizes it, because when it first came out, it was fun. It was a cool concept, being able to just land down, just kill bugs, easy, simple.
Or robots. I like the robots.
It's kind of like simple, like Space Marines 2 and Wukong, and just a simple game.
Do you like the bugs or the robots?
They really what?
Do you like the bugs or the robots more?
The robots can be a pain in the ass, dude.
Well,
like when they
drop down.
Yeah, I mean, you got to kill. You got to kill them fast because they just keep coming. I mean, the bugs do too, but like the robots is just a pain in the ass because it's like they can't miss. You know what I mean?
I used to get on top of like if I died, I'd try to like come down on top of a cliff, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm safe. Next thing you know, the bug's like climbing up there.
Yeah. All right. Next, Dragon Age: The Veilguard pre-sales aren't looking good, Grant.
Oh, they got yours. They got your pre-sale.
They do not. But yeah. So again, they're looking around like 50,000 pre-orders so far. The game comes out October, right?
Yes.
October. I can't remember, but the game comes out soon, and they've been having these pre-sales for quite a bit of time. So you think they'd be doing a little bit better. I'm not going to just completely crap on the game right now because I am going to buy it, and I am going to play it, and I am going to stream it.
Give an honest review.
I just hope the combat is better than what they showed us.
Mm-hmm. So here's the thing: a lot of people, because they say that we shit on games from the beginning. We do shit on like first impressions. You know what I mean? I mean that's human nature. Everybody does that. You know what I mean? So so right now we're shitting on it because it looks like a terrible fucking game. Now, could it be fun? It could be. We could be completely wrong, and it could be a great game. Is it probably going to? Probably not. Is it going to be a failure? Probably so. But we're going to give it a chance, and we're going to give it a real chance. We're not going to be like IGN, who plays 5 minutes of it and gives it a 10 or a 7 or a 4 or whatever. We're going to actually play the game, and we're actually going to give it a good. No, I don't know if it's a good score. We're going to give it a score, an honest score.
Our reviews are always going to be gameplay heavy when it comes to the review score.
And we'll always tell you the pros and the cons. Like, we're not just going to shit on it and not say anything good about it. And
story
we're not going
does factor into an RPG, but at the end of the day, if the gameplay's not fun, you're going to end up really not playing the game.
Yeah,
wanting
for real.
to see the story.
Yeah.
So, but our reviews do revolve heavily around gameplay, and I hope that it is better than what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, Grant. Netflix is just still putting out Witcher crap. All right. The Witcher animated series called Sirens of the Deep has been delayed until 2025. I mean, like,
I think they're doing this.
After season 2 and 3 of the main Witcher, like the live action one, I've kind of lost interest in more Witcher stuff because they're kind of butchering it.
Well, I always have faith in anime stuff. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like this. And we haven't really talked about this on here. The Terminator Zero, I thought it was great.
That was good.
I thought it was really good.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about that.
No, especially at the end. And if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. Yeah. Anyway, at the end where he kind of says that the kid sent him back in time, the Terminator back in time, and he has to choose. You know what I mean? That's not something that I saw. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, they delivered a new take.
Yeah, I thought. Now I did think that
refreshing take.
What's her name? Raya or what's her name? It's Rika, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, so I thought she was the little girl from the future at first. I didn't know she was her grandmother. I didn't know she was the mother of the guy who made everything. So I'm very interested in season 2. So I also think they're doing this for The Witcher because they already know that the new show is not going to be good. It's not going to. So they're kind of offsetting it with something good. So that's why I'm saying that maybe it could be good.
I just hope as long as none of the showrunners for the current live action Witcher is part of this.
Yeah.
It'll probably be good.
I'm more prone to watch the anime more so than the new season, just being honest.
Yeah. They got to keep those showrunners for The Witcher just away from any other new Witcher stuff. They got to, because they've completely butchered it.
Like, how can you fuck this up so bad, man? Like, how can
With
you
so much source material, dude? Come on, they
like? You know
fucked
what's
up so
funny?
many things.
I
And
sent you. What
so
did I?
many IPs, because they think these young writers or these writers think they're better than the original author or all this stuff, and they inject all this stupid shit in it.
Yeah. Do you remember? Like, it was probably like last week. I sent you that photo. It said like all these game-based shows were in development.
Yeah,
They're going to fuck. There's like 40 of them. They're going to fuck up 36 of them. The only one that's probably going to be good, honestly, is Super Mario 2.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and that's probably it. Am I looking for? Let me just tell you something. Am I looking forward to a live-action Zelda? No, I'm not. No, I'm not at all. Why? Because I go and tell you that is something right there that is primed for ideology, like just straight up. It's primed because Link's not he's bisexual,
but it's because of the popularity.
Correct.
It is a prime time.
Oh yeah,
for them to inject some stuff into.
Oh yeah, Princess Zelda is a lesbian.
I mean, you say that, and people think we're joking. You don't understand the tenacity of these writers, these youngins.
Yeah. So the thing about it is like, so they're going to fuck up 36 of 40 of these, or probably all of them except Mario 2. Yeah. Just being honest.
I will say they did Fallout pretty well. Fallout was pretty good. But The Witcher season 1 was good. I thought they had momentum. It was good storytelling, and then they just dropped the ball in season 2 and 3.
Yeah, I think that the Zelda would have been a better anime.
Yeah,
it should have been. And like games like Metroid anime, some games just aren't meant to be live action, and some games are just meant to be movie action or movie based. I mean, anime based. And those are two of them.
Nintendo, I hope, man, they gotta have, like, if they're giving these IPs to writers, they got to have complete oversight.
Zelda's going to be an epic failure. Just going ahead and tell you, I can just see it now. I can see it that they're going to fuck it up because, boy, it's got all the ingredients.
Yeah, it does. All right, Grant.
You go see Rings of Power is now developed. They're bringing them on to to help out.
You know, we need to talk about. Well, we already talked about Rings of Power before, but I finished episode 4 Friday.
You didn't tell me about it, so it's probably terrible since I didn't hear about it.
It's bad, dude. Like the acting, like it's so cringy. Like some of the.
Don't say that. Don't say that out loud.
Like I like Durin the dwarf, but that's about it. Everything else is just really bad. Yeah. Like Gandalf and the little hobbits, and they come into this village, and the acting in there was just horrendous.
Is this Gandalf with like the he's not doesn't have the gray beard? He's like young Gandalf.
He's young Gandalf when he first comes to Middle Earth. But it's really bad, and I just don't know what they're doing with it. It's I mean, like, people that say that it's bad, and then of course they get attacked for saying it's bad.
The Tolkienites come out.
They are 100% correct, and stop lying to yourself that you're saying this is a good show, because it's not a good show.
They're not going to admit it, because then they have to admit that then they're going to, the whole thing. It's going to be like that. So did you see that thing for the Acolyte that got leaked? Somebody, or didn't get leaked, just somebody found it, and they're like, they were basically getting mad because the momentum of Save the Acolyte died down or whatever. Mm-hmm. And the last sentence wasn't even about the Acolyte. It says, "We're fighting for more than just this show." So that's what this is. That's why they're not going to admit it.
We know. As soon as I saw that petition, we know what you're fighting for.
So the thing about it is that's why they will never admit it's a bad show.
Yeah,
they know it's a bad show, but they're not going to say that, because then they feel like they're giving in to the fascists and the bigots and the racists.
Racist. The characters, like Galadriel, and you got they introduce Isildur and all that stuff. The characters, they're very basic.
Yeah.
Like when it comes compared to who these people are in the lore, these aren't weaklings.
Yeah.
They make Isildur look like some, loser
Yeah.
that
That's
has
the
no
thing.
prowess.
So like in Lord of the Rings, the very first scene in the first Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, it shows Isildur fighting, and he looks like a badass, right?
he cuts
And
the
then
ring off
yeah,
Sauron.
and in this one, he
Led
looks like
led the armies against, basically Sauron's armies and everything like that.
he looks like like a little prick. Like I don't know what else to say. Like he doesn't.
That's
He
what I'm
looks.
getting at. Like, you're really watering down these characters. Like these, I mean, these aren't like, weaklings. I mean, yes, maybe you will develop them into that, but when I look at this guy, I was like, that's not the, leader of humankind. You know what I mean? Like, it's
When
just kind of stupid. And like,
so
how can
that's
you
the
make
thing.
him into the leader of humankind with how he is now?
Very few shows are really good at taking characters and then putting them in the. For example, Game of Thrones had the best from book to character to show translation. You know what I mean? To this, I read a thing about, and people probably read this. It's not like new news, but the kid who played Joffrey Baratheon got so much hate because he was so good at his character. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
he had to take a
he
break
would,
after that.
yeah, he had to take a break because he was getting like he would go out to public appearances and the people were like really mean to him.
Like, taking that stuff seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you play your character that well, and he did, trust me, he did. I mean,
Yeah,
I hated his ass too. Like everybody, like, I mean, I'm saying like you're glad the little shit got poisoned and you want him to die.
Yeah.
And, but man, like that's good. When you feel like that about a character, that's how you know you have good character development, good role. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. But Galadriel. Galadriel is very powerful. She got captured by like 10 orcs.
yeah.
Like, gotcha.
Yeah.
Like, what? All right. So anyway,
They'll say, well, she doesn't know the full amount of her powers yet, Ed.
Yeah. Okay, Grant, let's get into the last part of our podcast and close it out.
All right.
So we're doing a giveaway.
Another one. Wow. Here we go.
It's going to be $100 giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to promote it on Twitter or X. We're going to promote it there, but you have to come to be completely eligible. First, you just have to like the post that we're about to put up on X, and you have to retweet it. You don't have to comment. I'll put all the instructions in there. But then you have to click on the YouTube link and go to, it's going to be this video, basically, once we put it on YouTube and everything like that. Or, edit it out and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then when they get to the YouTube video, this video, they just have to like, subscribe, and comment on their platform of choice.
Subscribe
on the YouTube video
and comment. Don't you dislike. You better not dislike us. Nah, you can I don't care.
We already get dislikes. So
yeah, we get dislike. We dislike each other.
Yeah.
No, but what I'm saying is, it's like, whatever. It doesn't matter about that. But you need to like or dislike. But you have to comment and follow. You have to. We're
putting it on an application that kind of cycles it.
Yeah.
And randomly chooses someone, but it's going to have to meet all these parameters in
and
order
you have
for
to
you
like
to be eligible.
Yeah, you better not dislike us. You have to like us.
The $100 is real. We gave a real person $100 the first time, and then a real person that responded and everything $100 the second time.
Yep.
This is for any platform. Like, you want a Steam gift card, you want Nintendo gift shop, you want Xbox, Microsoft store, you want PS5 store. It is $100 and it's real. And
you can already be followed. Like, it's not just for new.
Immediately contacted once. It's going to be probably next Tuesday when we announce the winner. You will be immediately contacted via message by us, and we're going to give you the key right there and there. It's going to take like 10 minutes.
Yep.
All right. Grant, go and close us out with socials.
All right, guys. So soon you'll be knowing our YouTube, because we're going to be putting that out. So you're going to be following us there. If you want to win. If you don't want to win, hey, you don't have to. It's a free country. Nobody's asking you to take a free $100. Nobody. I mean, I'm gonna make it a burner account and I'm gonna sign up for
you
it.
Are. Yeah.
I'm gonna act shocked when I win.
Like DMG Gaming Podcast backwards or something.
I know, and I'm gonna be like, oh, I won. No. So anyway, y'all go follow us there. Anyway, so follow us on X. Follow us on TikTok, DMG Gaming Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram. We'll eventually get around to that.
Or you can also download the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Listen to it when you're driving around,
or wherever you get podcasts.
38 episodes in there.
Yep,
they're all relevant today.
Yep. So, all right, guys. So we'll get all this stuff.
Thanks for joining, guys. We appreciate you guys joining and listening to us rant.
You gonna let me finish talking? You gonna let me finish?
No, I'm not. Go ahead.
Who's closing this out? You or me?
You are. Close this out, buddy.
All right. Thanks. All right. Anyway, guys, we appreciate y'all. We'll have all this stuff up. Look for the tweet. Get ready because somebody about to win $100. It's going to be me. $100. Anyway, guys, y'all have a good one. See y'all Friday. Peace.
Peace.